I worked my graveyard shift, and then I drove 760 miles, something like that, to Kings Island. I've done this before. I did this in October 2019 when I was coming to get some final rides on Vortex. This time I did it just because it gets me some bonus time. Well, that 760 mile drive was easy, but it still takes a lot out of you. I got an hour and a half to spend here at Kings Island today, and then I got all day tomorrow. So tonight I just want to get my missing credits and get a Beast night ride. So having a Six Flags membership and the All Parks passport, not sure how it works on their computer system, but I did have to show an ID to get in. I see the family Boomerang. I don't even know what this is called. Snoopy Soapbox Racers. I gotta find out how to get into it. It's just a one cycle wait. Got right on. That's a good ride for the kids. In the front row, got some very mild airtime on one hill during the ride, and then the step up there, maybe a little pinch. Nothing on the return run. And the back row pulled some good positive G-forces on the turns. And here's one that's been here a while, but it used to be restricted. You had to have a kid with you to ride, but not anymore. So I finally got the credit I never thought I would get. So happy that Cedar Fair lifted that rule for most of them. Wilderness Run at Cedar Point, you still have to have a kid with you. I think they've lifted the rule on all the others at the Cedar Fair parks that used to have it. I already got the credit at King's Dominion. Kind of a unique situation on that one, but I got it. But I don't have the Carowinds one, so later in the trip I'll get that one too, hopefully. All right, enough messing around with those kids' rides. I'll do Diamondback, Mystic Timbers, and Beast, hopefully, in the last hour. Well, Diamondback's having an off day. The airtime was almost non-existent in the back row, except on this drop into the splashdown. That was a pretty good pop of airtime. Other than that, there was pretty much no airtime on the ride. And Mystic Timbers seemed like it was riding a little weak too. Still the #1 attraction here at Kings Island, and it probably always will be. It got my Beast night ride. That was phenomenal. It's been a long time since I've had a true night ride on it. Last time I was here in 2023, didn't really do a night ride. Did kind of a sunset ride. The crowds were so light, it was hard for me to justify waiting an hour for a Beast night ride because of the fireworks delay. This time I was like, I'm doing it. I don't care how long I have to wait. And it was about an hour after getting in line that I rode. But of course that includes the fireworks delay. And I am so tired. It's after 11. What am I doing? I keep doing these kinds of things. I work, then I drive somewhere, then I go into the park. Before I know it, it's been over 24 hours I've been awake. This always ends up being so rewarding after the long drive to then arrive at a park like this. That was phenomenal. I got front and back row. That was so much better than Diamondback. In fact, the way it's riding for me this morning, this might be better than Fury. That was just incredible. Amazing speed. The airtime is just awesome. I remember this having good airtime before, but that was phenomenal airtime. You got sideways airtime coming up right here. Strong positive forces in the helix. I was graying out, and I'm one who hardly ever grays out. After that ride, this could be my favorite in the park. After last night's ride on Mystic Timbers, these rides on Orion were far better than Mystic Timbers last night. I don't understand how anyone could say they like Diamondback better than this. This has way stronger airtime than Diamondback. So much more speed. Not as long of a ride, but it makes up for it in the quality of the elements. And it's much smoother too. Like, if there's any rattle, it is so minor. And that was riding on a back edge seat. Maybe got a very minor rattle. You had to really be hunting for it. You wouldn't even feel it if you weren't trying to find it. Meanwhile, on a Diamondback, that is pretty rattly, but it's tolerable, but still, Orion, much smoother. So the artist formerly known as Backlot Stunt Coaster, now Queen City Stunt Coaster. I do like the theming elements in the first half of the ride, but the effects are all turned off on the mid-course. I don't know if that's been the case all season, but it is today. There was no sound, no effects, you just sat there. So a mix of good and bad. Better theming in the first half, but no theming at all on the mid-course. That is so weird to just sit there with nothing happening, not even any sounds. But it's still a very good ride. I was graying out on that triple helix. Like I said, I'm not one that grays out much at all, but Backlot Stunt Coaster always gets me. I did 2 rides on the Beast, including in the back row. It's a little rougher back there, but I love it that way. Came over here, did Mystic Timbers a couple times, got like a 10-minute wait. No big deal. And it is riding much stronger today than it was last night. It was probably the row I was in. Last night I was towards the middle, and I thought that was kind of weak. The airtime was pretty gentle, except for one moment. But riding in the back, in the next last row, then the last row, that was way stronger. Still not up to Prowler level strength, but still a lot stronger than last night. Although I say that, having not ridden Prowler since they put steel track on it. That makes me so angry that they put steel track on Prowler. It probably ruined it, or it probably took something away from it. But I hope that doesn't become a trend to put steel track on wood coasters that don't need it. So that's it from Kings Island on this visit. I'm leaving more than 2 hours early. I still got 34 rides done today. So while it was busy, it was quite manageable. 34 rides on 12 different roller coasters, I think, and caught the country show. They just know how to run things really well here. Although there are a couple nitpicks. The groupers often were not filling all the seats. They weren't filling all the rows. There were some empty rows going out on a lot of cycles. And also they need to just give up on the 3 train ops on the B&Ms. They're always stacking all 3 trains, and that's across all parks too. I don't think there's any B&M that can truly run with 3 train ops without stacking. Now Beast is a different story. Beast is away from the station for so long that 3 train ops make sense there. There's not really many others. Mystic Timbers, they kind of make it work because of the shed. But there's not really many others that ought to ever be on 3 train ops, but especially not the B&Ms. But other than that, really love this park. The biggest nitpick always is the assigned seating on the coasters. Just let us pick our own rows.